Hi everyone, I'm just going to run you through the updated task sheet of our task 2, which was our interview report. So as we go through, you can see our normal information up the top, how to go about it. We've already done most of this. Assessment conditions, so you can see here due week 11 next week, and the blue class you're going to hand it up on Tuesday 9th of April at the end of the lesson, and green class Wednesday 10th of April. I hope I haven't made a mistake with those dates. If you want, you can see me for an extension. Blue class, please see me on Friday or Monday. Green class, see me on Monday or Tuesday. For the task, we had two different parts to it. We had the interview and the report, and you can see that our purpose, audience, structure and language are quite different. When we did the interview, our job was to get information, and you were the audience. Uncle Tamaru was talking and you were listening. The structure was open-ended questions, some closed-ended questions. It was question and answer, some follow-up questions, but no leading questions. We had polite greetings and introductions. Hello, yeah, how are you? My name is. And we thanked him at the end because he was doing us a favour. And our language was polite, semi-formal and technical because he was helping us and he was a stranger. Also because we were talking about his language and culture. So we had lots of Ghana or Aboriginal words and terms there. So that's why it's technical language. For our report, it's a little bit different. Your purpose for your writing is to share information and to report back. You need to think about our interview. The audience is me, the teacher, and the structure, we've got our headings like our report heading, Stage 1 EAL Foundation, interview task, something like that. Then you have the heading an introduction without a heading, key findings with a heading, and that has our information about the interview. We have reflection on communication strategies, which is a heading, and that's where we're talking about our interview, how we prepared. So we learned about our do's and don'ts. We learned about things like what kind of questions we should ask. We talked about how we should be respectful and show good body language and use a loud, clear voice. How well it went. So I think our interview went fairly well, but why did it go well? How can we improve next time? And the conclusion with no heading, talking about, well, how did it go? Did we achieve what we wanted to achieve? Did we get our information? What did we learn about Uncle Tamaru? And what did we learn about creating an interview? Now, it's really important in this that you talk about what things you did and also why you did them and how well you did them. So you might say, I had really, really good body language to show that I was really interested and being polite because I wanted to have an effective interview, and I did this by making eye contact, sitting forward and nodding my head to show that I was listening. Let's look down in our performance standards. So let's take a look. Let's go with the B band, all right? So if you want to aim for a B, we want mostly clear and coherent writing and speaking. So that means, is it clear? Is it easy to understand? So here are the things where you're thinking about simple sentences that make sense. Paragraphs, so it's nice and clear and easy to read. Signalling, so try and keep one topic per paragraph, like in my example. If you can't, make sure you're still writing in paragraphs. And if you want to get a B, it says using a varied vocabulary. Okay, and that means words that are a little bit difficult sometimes. Now, be very, very careful. In task 1, what I found was when people tried to use sophisticated vocabulary, their sentences didn't make sense. It's better if you can get a C with nice, clear sentences than a D with really, really difficult words. So the clarity or being clear and easy to understand is the most important part. In the next one, let's look at well-considered understanding of the purpose, structure and language features of texts. So this means you need to write your report properly. Okay, so you're going to talk to me about what you did in your interview, so the types of questions that you asked, what kind of things you did, and also that you can then show me how you can write a correct report. So things like paragraphs, things like our correct headings, things like if you are quoting properly to share your information. Going on to well-considered analysis of ways in which texts are created for specific purposes and audiences. This is very similar. Okay, so still talking about how do we do an interview? Why do we use those things? Why do we use that language? Why do we use that structure? And when you do your report, why do we use that structure? Why do we use this language? Okay, have you understood what we did in the interview? And have you written your report correctly? Now, if you didn't do these things in the interview, it's fine for you to say, actually, I wasn't able to do this in the interview, but in the future, I will improve by doing this. That shows your understanding too. This last one here, considered selection, means you have chosen well. Use of evidence and examples from a range of sources. So this is where you are including your information from Uncle Tamaru. Have you been able to share information that Uncle Tamaru told us? Have you been able to maybe quote him, or at least make sure that you've got good information from Uncle Tamaru? That is your information part. The main difference here, in the C band, we're looking at mostly. So you can see here we've got generally or appropriate, like it's okay for what we're doing. When we get to B, we're looking at sort of pretty good level. But when we're at A level, it says consistently, which means almost always. Almost all of your work is very, very clear, easy to read, high level, very good understanding. And that is very difficult for a foundation class to do, especially when you need to make sure your sentences are clear. As per usual, if you have any questions, you can come and see me. We've still got more time, more lesson time before we finish off our task, and you can make an appointment to come and see me for more help if you need it. I hope this was helpful. Bye.